In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how Luke Belmar was able to make $6 million last time he opened his mid-ticket community, and how he's on track to make $10 to $15 million next time he actually opens it up again. So let's just dive straight in. Now, the first thing that you need to understand about this funnel, and really about any funnel, is that it all comes down to the traffic. Because if nobody knows what you're selling, how are they supposed to buy something that they don't even know exists? So Luke is in a very special situation because he's one of the bigger guys. He's right up there with Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, and really the big guys. So what these guys are focused on, and what Luke specifically is also focused on, is the actual content distribution, clip consciousness, and virality. So his strategy, really similar to Iman Gadzhi and Andrew Tate, is pretty much going on podcasts, doing YouTube, so really just long form content, podcasts, YouTube, vlogs, and Q&As, where they can actually build up their large media library, where people can take these videos that even on these long form platforms like YouTube get 250,000 views, 540,000 views, 120,000 views, 1.7 million views, and etc., and actually take them onto secondary accounts on Instagram, TikTok, and etc. So here's an example of an account like that, and I'm just going to be showing the accounts which Luke Belmar's team own, because you can see here Luke Belmar is actually following this account, and they're using a really simple strategy. These accounts are mainly for Luke's long-term goals, so really just showing people Luke's face for the first time, but he's also call to actioning to his Capital Club link and actually getting them into the funnel, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But he's got a bunch of these accounts. If we even just go on Instagram, Luke Wisdom, Luke Advice, Belmar Wisdom, Belmar, the Belmar, the Luke Belmar, and even if you go on YouTube, this isn't his main page, and it still has 400,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane, and that's for long form content, which I just find so incredible. So these videos that he's actually posting, they're definitely investing pretty hard into them, because they're really good quality, and they're essentially placing him as an authority. Because if they just look at his brand, the way he's speaking, that's placing him as an authority. The lifestyle that he's showing, that's placing him as an authority. The editing style that they're taking, it's all placing him as an authority, and they get to push these clips out they are only pushing these clips out on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, and you will find accounts on Twitter or Reddit and etc., but these are actually just like fan pages, I guess you could say. But Luke's team is specifically focused on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. And what they're also doing now is on YouTube, they're actually posting a little bit longer form content. So just content that's 10 to 15 minutes long, and it's clips out of his podcast, which is also really interesting. But essentially, if you're looking at the buyer's journey, so the buyer's journey of someone who's actually buying into his mid-ticket community, what's the actual journey that they're going through before they actually buy into his program? Well, first they might see him on TikTok or Instagram, right? They're going to see him, they're going to get to know about Luke's existence a little bit, and they'll just see his face for the first time. After that, they might see him on YouTube, and they're going to think, oh, I've seen this guy before. So they're going to consume a 10 to 20 minute piece of content. And these content pieces, they're getting pushed out by Luke's team. I'm pretty sure this is this channel right here, and these are pretty good numbers for longer form videos. 3,000 views in 8 hours, or 10,000 views from a day ago. So these are working really well, and they're just pushing so many of them. And then after this, after they've seen him a little bit of on short form, and they've seen a little bit of a longer form video, they might actually ascend and watch a podcast, and podcasts aren't just really good at nurturing, but they're the best at nurturing, because they're this one's 2 hours long, and if they like it, they'll watch more podcasts, which will even further nurture the views, and from here they already have a really, really good chance into buying into Capital Club. And once they've consumed all this content, they're going to follow him on Instagram, right? Just 100% they're going to follow him on Instagram, where he can even further nurture them with posts, stories, and etc., if they don't buy into Capital Club straight away. But this is going to be another 10 to 20 minutes of content. And the reason why, Luke is strategically doing this. He's not just spraying and praying. He understands the 7-11 rule, which is actually Google's study. Google's research identified that, be it on your website, social media, or in person, a buyer will spend 7 hours on average researching your product, looking at reviews, comparing the competition, and consuming content about your brand across 11 touch points and in 4 different locations before they are ready to make the important decision to buy. And from here, he can actually get them into his funnel. So the goal with the content over here is actually to get them to watch as much content as possible, because from there, the more nurtured they are, the easier they're going to be to sell to. So that's why Instagram's perfect, to actually get them in, then get them to watch a little bit longer form content on YouTube, 10 to 20 minutes long, and then get them to actually watch a podcast for 2 hours, or listen to a podcast for 2 hours. Maybe get them to follow him on Instagram, where stories, posts, etc. And from there, when they've actually consumed enough content, they can get into his funnel. Now, the important thing for you to understand about Luke's funnel is the market research, because obviously now we've actually nurtured them, right? So how do we actually convert as many of these as possible? Well, with market research, because once you've completed the market research, only then you know how to create the video sales letter. Only then you know how to create the landing page. Only then you know what you want to actually sell to your audience. So how can you actually do market research? How is Luke's team actually conducting this market research? Well, it's really, really simple. And they're doing docs like this. Even for my clients, I'm making 20 to 30 page docs for my clients when we're actually launching a new info product. And this is important because you want to understand the ideal prospect but better than they understand themselves, right? So you want to figure out what's the actual promise, what's the dream land, what's the problem, what's the journey of the potential clients, what are their problems, what are their desires, what's the desired situation, what is the gap, how do they bridge the gap, what are the unique selling proposition and unique selling proposition details, why should they actually believe you, what are the reasons to believe, what are the features and benefits, what are the deliverables, what's the sales argument, what are the customer verticals, what are the potential questions, and what are the objections. And this may seem like a lot to you, even if you're thinking, okay, well, I have 10 to 20,000 followers, I don't need to implement this. Yes, you do, because this is the difference between, making $1 million launch and making a $6 million launch like Luke Belmar has done, because he simply understands his audience so well, where when he's making content, he knows exactly who he's speaking to. When he's creating the landing pages, he knows exactly who he's speaking to, and that's essential. He understands his ICP better than his ICP understands themselves. So from here, he can actually build an offer. And usually you would use Alex Ramosey's $100 million offer framework, but because this is a low ticket product, or not low ticket, but it's low ticket to mid ticket, depending on what plan you buy, there's no guarantee. You don't want to give a guarantee. There's no crazy offer. You're just showing the features and benefits on your landing page. And then you actually want to get a funnel, right? And funnels are especially important for low ticket and mid ticket products, because there is no sales call in between where you can actually do all the objection handling and all that good stuff. So Luke Belmar goes about funnels a little bit differently. He likes to build a lot of hype for his product, launch for a short period of time, and then close access again. And you can see this here. You can sort of think of it like a crypto pump and dump, but it's not really a dump, but you can just think of it like that. So we have the interest, and he's just building interest. And then at the peak of the interest, or not the peak of the interest, but once he's built enough interest, he actually can launch his product, make a bunch of money in a few days, and then close it again. And when he closes it, you can start building interest again. Interest, and then open up his community, inner circle, whatever you want to call it, and then make a bunch of money in a few days, and then go up again, right? It's pretty much a cycle. And they're currently building hype for a new product, but last time they followed this exact strategy, which I'm about to show you, they ended up making $6.1 million. And this time they're projected to make $10 to $15 million. So let's get into it. Now, with funnels like this, it's really, really simple, because, it's not really, really simple, but low ticket to mid ticket, you don't need to do anything crazy. You just need a really, really simple landing page. And this is Luke's. So if you're planning on launching something similar, I would recommend building out something similar. So here we have the fastest growing entrepreneur club in the world, which is pretty much, just social, just the headline. And then we have a call to action to actually join the waitlist. Because obviously, like we talked about before, he's just building hype. So that's what he's doing with his waitlist. And then he can do email marketing from his waitlist, which is why he wants to actually build out the waitlist instead of just saying, we're closed for now. Because when he builds up the email marketing list, when he has all the emails, he can make an even bigger launch with all the emails, because then he can be like, we're live now, you can get in here through the emails, through people who showed interest before that, right? So this is what we're doing. The main call to action on this website, because we're still building hype, is the join the waitlist. Then he's talking about the company mission and the features, right? The features and benefits, what's actually inside. So he has a learn more button, and he has a bunch of course modules in the background, which you can actually look at, making it look like there's a bunch of features and benefits. Then he's showing even more. So here's courses inside. He's showing, just a few examples, e-commerce brand, irresistible offer, time feast trading, TikTok shop, dropshipping bootcamp. So there really is a bunch. Then he's showing more features. He's showing benefits where he actually has partnerships with different companies which they can profit from. Again, call to action to the waitlist. And then he's just doing a really simple Q&A, FAQ, whatever you want to call it. So really, really simple website, and really just shows how you don't need to overcomplicate these types of things. But essentially, he's doing something really simple. So he's using a pre-call checklist. So for months and months, just in Luke Belmar's case, he can spend a few months building this up, but he really is just building hype, right? Through Instagram Reels, TikTok pages, X content, his own Instagram stories where he's hyping it up sometimes, and daily educational Reels on obviously all of his platforms where he has these clip curators actually creating content. And all this can call to action into this landing page right here, where they're actually going to give, they're going to give their email and their name, so that the email marketers on Luke's team can actually further nurture them before the launch, and then actually sell them onto Capital Club when they actually launch up, right? So from the waitlist, they're going to be able to launch, like I just said, and they're also going to be pushing Luke's Telegram channel, where he's going to give even more, well, not even more advice, but he can really just further nurture them inside of Luke's channel. So he's just posting messages and he's giving value inside of there. And, it really just all comes down to the waitlist. And another thing that I want to say is that he doesn't just want a big email list. He wants a nurtured email list because he needs to know his KPIs. And that's one thing that you're going to see with all of the big funnels. They're super into their KPIs, and they want to know exact statistics, right? They don't want 100,000 person email list, but that's the only 20% are qualified. He really wants qualified people, and that's why he's even making videos, but that's why he's even making emails like this, where he's pretty much asking them if they're still interested and if they still want to stay in his list, right? So he wants exact KPIs so that he knows exactly what he needs to do. Because if he knows, okay, I need to get 2,000 viewers in order to get another client, well, then he can say, okay, well, based on these metrics, this is how much money I'm going to make this month. And that's exactly what the top info guys want to do. So if you want to build out a funnel similar like this, or maybe even something a little bit different, and you just need someone's help who, maybe can help you do it because you want to focus on content, you're a coach or creator, then you can book a call with me first, link in the description. It's going to be a really simple call, no pressure, just going to be a little bit of a game plan call, and I'll help you audit your funnel and actually build out a little bit of a better funnel. So if you're interested in that, you can book a call with me first, link in the description. And other than that, have a good one.